They say great art is difficult to understand, but easy to enjoy.
Hey, Beavis. It's hard, but it's not like hard.
Yeah.
Do you know the best night I've had in the last 5 years is a night that Zoe and I split a bottle of wine, we made a summer salad, and watched chocolat together?
You mean chocolate?
Chocolat.
Chocolate with Johnny Depp.
Chocolat.
You're not fucking French, Pete. It's called chocolate.
How you all doing tonight? It's Saturday night. We're here to talk comics, classic comics, new comics. We have a guest. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic issue of Clobby's Comic Shop it will be tonight. Gentlemen, ladies in the chat, let's acknowledge those faces. So let's see here. I see a Vince Womack. How you doing, Vince? I see D-Bud Martin, Deeple 101, John the Beagle Dad. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Hello, hello. Great to see you here. And of course, over on the Rumble side, I see Vince and Common and Deeple all holding the fort down. I love to see that. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing such as that. And yes, in case you guys missed what I just said there, if you're someone who, well, let's just say you like to have it both ways, you can do that here because over on the show, you can either watch it on YouTube or Rumble. The choice is yours. It doesn't matter to me. Or you can just choose your lane and be as simple as that. But you have options. That's the link to the green button if you want. Otherwise, hang out over here. But yes, classic comics, guests, books to promote. It's going to be badass. Badass. Is that right, the common nerd?
Yes, it is, because I did my homework on time and everything. I won't be reading in the background like I may or may not have done on other episodes in the past. Not anything recently, of course, though. That would never happen. So yeah, no, I'm actually super stoked to talk about these because these are some bangers. Let us say they are some bangers. So this should be fun and just like, yeah. Well, and what's funny too is not to get into it too much because I know we've got a guest in the background. I don't want to be like Pablo and go on forever. God bless you. I love you, buddy. It's one of those situations where like, nah. But it's one of those situations where like both of these end with absolute bangers, and you're like, I can't imagine having. I don't remember if these. What were these were coming out monthly? Were these ones coming out monthly or these ones coming out? I don't remember.
Oh, they're both monthly.
I think it had to be monthly.
Obviously,
right?
Number 96 was from the early to mid 70s. And
yes.
The Hickman was like, I think around 2009, 2010,
right
around that spot. So
both of these.
Go on.
Yeah, waiting a month for both of these would have been absolute murder. Like absolute murder.
Agreed. It would have been.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
You should be excited.
I'm always excited to have a guest too. That's always fun. Someone else I can irritate, annoy, and drown out into the world of things.
It's been a while since we had him on. Last time he was on here, it was almost like a hype piece for what was to come of some books. Now he has a few books out, but he also has 800 more on the way. So it kind of is like really cool that we get to operate a little different now that he has some stuff out, and I can actually talk about it a little bit as well. So that should be fun. I see. Oh, what's up, dude? Bro, Seth on Rumble. How's it going, sir? A man who holds down the green button very nicely. Well, I don't see an Ironcaster. I know he's gonna be here. I don't see a Pablo, but we do have a Drew here, and I must say, Mr. Drew, welcome back to the show. It has been some time. It feels like it's been too long.
Yeah, it has. I know it had to have been at least 2 years. I think probably. Yeah, I know it was well before Dallas Fan Expo last year. So yeah, it had to have been 2 years.
Insane, dude. And at that point in time when you're last here, as I was mentioned, there was no Silent Nights. There was no Unholy Nightmare out. We were obviously seeing preview sampling, giving people some perspective of the future. And now here you are. You have a few of these books out, a few issues of at least one of them, and you got a lot more on the way. It's got to be awesome to be able to be in this position that you're in, knowing that you can review comics, and then also you can write books that obviously clearly seems like these are things you must want. Maybe something you're not getting out of the industry. You know, like what's out there or what's not out there, I meant to say. And you're just going for that. So yeah, we're having some fun with it. And before we do that though, we're going to get into some of these old school comics because you know what? Let's go back to the 70s because I like the 70s. I wasn't alive for it, but I like a lot of their mediums of entertainment that they had to offer. Whether it was your Dirty Harrys, your Death Wishes, your Star Wars, or your comic books, the most obvious one on Clobby's comic shop. So yes, chat. Yes, absolutely. Let's give Drew a very warm welcome because you will like what this man has to offer. And obviously, when we get to showing off those comics later and talk about it, I'm going to show off some pages from one of the comics that I own as well. But
awesome.
Yes. So, chat, Common, Drew, fellow dudes, guys, are we ready to talk about some classic ASM from way back when?
Looks like one of us is. So I'm a comic book historian, and I love this run of ASM,
Okay.
and I can't wait to talk about this.
Awesome. Chat, are you ready?
Are you ready? No, shut down! I said, are you ready?
And ASM number 96. Of course, written by Stan Lee, and this was drawn by both John Romita Sr. and Gil Kane. And if I had to have a theory on how they did this issue, we'll get into it, the guys, see if they agree or even disagree. I feel like Gil Kane did the layouts and Romita finished the issue, is what I get, because Gil Kane's layouts are a little bit more dynamic, and he definitely has a bit of a busier spread going on. But then there's Romita, who has more of like the Archie look of comics, especially considering that he was big into teen romance stories. Sounds like his wheelhouse. So that's what I think is what happened. But we'll get into that. Common Nerd, sir, why don't you tell us your thoughts on ASM number 96?
So this one's a lot of fun. So especially after all the insanity that happened last week with going to London, trying to get back good old Gwen Stacy, and of course completely blowing that and getting involved in Spider-Man things because it's a Spider-Man comic book. Of course he has to. So he's now on his way back to town. He's coming in and things are having fun. And like this episode that like, especially after what just happened a few issues ago with Gwen's dad and this cover teasing like crazy drama, action, shock. This one's a knockout, yada, yada, yada. I'd never seen all this stuff coming, especially on the cover. Right. And you're thinking like, oh crap, what the hell are we got? Especially with that cover. I'm like, are we going to end up with somebody dead again? Like, is Peter going to get yelled at for being for killing somebody again? And fortunately enough, that's not what happens. But there's a lot of fun in here and there's a lot of fun in this issue. And you get this, and I love Mary Jane in this one as well, because not only do we get more of the best compliments that a man in any era would absolutely love to hear from anyone, whether it be coming from Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, because both of those girls have absolute bangers. They know how to talk to men. But you also get a great drug ad in this issue as well. We get a "Don't do drugs, kids." There's a little. We've got a little 5 o'clock special, or after school special for this one, which I thought was just absolutely hilarious and so spot on for this era. And so it just I got a really big kick out of that one as well. And the ending's just absolutely nuts. Because you finally have Peter, the guy that's always struggled with money, right? Finally decides to take the job that'll give him consistent income, consistent cash flow, and he'll be okay. And we're like, yay, Peter's got to win. He's finally been sensible. Plus, Mary Jane looks absolutely fabulous on stage in this issue. But then things, of course, go sideways at the end, and we'll get to it when we scroll all the way down to it. But as the whole issue is already teased, the Goblin returns, and it's pretty nuts. It's pretty wild. And so there's a lot of good stuff in this one. I thought, you got Peter worried about whether or not he's going to have enough money to do all this stuff. But yeah, this right here, like the cover alone made me think, oh, great, we're going to get another body here. Like Spider-Man's going to be accused of killing somebody again. And so, yeah, but like you got a lot of good things going. And then, of course, now Osborn's gone crazy again and everything's going sideways. So I really enjoyed this one. There's a lot of fun. I always like the dense dialogue in this era of comics. That's one of the things I really enjoyed. The detailed art. Like I've always talked about, is I think anything from this era is always far superior to 99% of stuff that we've gotten for the last 30 years. And I'll even throw some of that at the indie guys too, because there's some great indie stuff out there, but there's also some kind of sketchy stuff out there too. And so I love all of this, and not much Gwen Stacy, but lots of Mary Jane in this episode, and I'm good with that. And seeing Harry getting kind of perved, you're like, oh, this ain't gonna end well. But hey, we already know how this goes, so it's all what we expected. So yeah, I really love this one. It's a good time. I enjoy it a lot. Hey, speaking of things I enjoy a lot, giggity.
Welcome to the show, Ironcaster. How are you, sir?
Well, I thought it'd be a nice change of pace to actually show up for one of these when I was supposed to.
Oh, wow. Who would have ever thought that was going to happen again?
No, things have been a little hectic lately. Life gets like that. I'm trying to stay warm, damn it.
Well, yeah,
That's
you're in Michigan. I like how we have three Midwest guys here who are in states that can get really cold. And then we got the common nerd here who's in Texas. Like
I'm not just in Texas. I'm in South Texas. Okay. I was in shorts and flip-flops all day today, wearing my Hawaiian shirt. Okay.
This guy can tell us all about how he froze his butt off with a balmy 85 degrees.
I drove right down next to the beach today. I didn't go because the bay water's a little cold right now. It's like 65 degrees. That 65 degrees is way too cold to get into the water. So we just drove by and looked at it. We went to a nice little rock show. Yeah, it was great. It was great. How many inches of snow did you shovel today, Ironcaster?
No. I don't actually go outside if I can help it. Not if I have to. Like
right?
Like the mailman showed up to the door and he's like, "Here you go," and I'm like, "Cool." I don't even have to leave the house. Like I feel have to crack the door open, and then old man Winter tries to throw snowballs at me. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this.
No, I lived in Missouri growing up my entire life. Like I dealt with ice storms and all the rest of that stuff. Like I'm this far south for a reason, guys. I love you all. It looks beautiful in the pictures you send me. That snow is gorgeous. I love it.
So we're going to let our guests now have a tackle at this issue, since not only are we going to be promoting his books there, but he actually took the time to actually, get re-familiarized with this issue, which I appreciate, because I did lay it on him. He didn't have to. It was just something that we do as part of our weekly show as a means of always having some little to talk about in case there's a slow news week. And it seems like he happily obliged. So Drew, sir, your thoughts on ASM number 96?
Yeah, I had an absolute blast rereading this. I remember reading these in the original. I read these in black and white in the collected essential editions that came out back in the day. And Yeah, when you're looking at when it's mostly the Gil Kane show, because I got a theory about how this was done.
I want to hear yours because you heard mine.
Yes, so I believe Gil Kane did do the layouts. I believe Romita did the pencils, and Gil Kane finished with the inks. That's my theory, because if you look at the inks here, these inks are very similar to Gil Kane's style. But I could be wrong. But I should have done more research on that. But regardless, it's still a fun issue. It's very charming looking back, because this came out in 1971. You really see the styles, the clothing, the hair.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Peter's outfit.
Oh, Peter. Yeah, I'm just like, is that a Native American vest he's got going on? That's adorable. And the clothes that Mary Jane's rocking, it's so much fun, and the craziness going on with Norman in this, it's just a blast, and it makes you wish the current ASM run was like this. And unfortunately, no, nothing gold can stay.
No, dude, well stated, man. I love that. So yeah, for me, obviously it sounds like you and I are similar in our theories on how this was done, but I'm glad you threw in the Gil Kane ink part, because I would not be surprised if that was what were to have happened. It definitely still makes me curious, because you can see a little bit of both in the style. Like I said, Gil likes the big, busier pages. Remy is a bit simpler, but obviously his style is considered probably one of the styles when people think about Spider-Man merchandise. He's one of the first styles people think of for the art for inspiration. Maybe you can make a second or third place argument for guys like Mark Bagley, sure. But John Romita Sr. has been on probably the most merch. As far as Spider-Man comic merch, it's probably not even close. I mean, hell, that was the balloon that they based him off of for the Macy's Day Parade in the last few years as well. So it's just
how to draw Marvel comics, how to draw comics the Marvel way. It was John Romita's art right there on the cover, and he did the instructional video.
Yup. Nah, true. So what I really like about this issue is that it's a few things. Lots of great character work going on. It's nice to see the fallout of Peter coming back from London, even though we don't get anything with Gwen. I like that Robbie's appreciative of the photos he got, even though he didn't suspect anything about Peter and Spider-Man being in London. Robbie is happy, just, help Peter out, get out of New York City for a bit. I like also seeing Randy Robertson, his reaction to everything around it with the drugs. And of course, the character work with Harry, Mary Jane, Peter, hell, even Aunt May. They all have entertaining, funny parts are all really great. And I love how Aunt May, the whole her trying to fit in, trying to be hip. I freaking died.
So some of the being a swinger, it's like what the hell is this going on here?
So you had a lot of fun. You had a lot of funny. You also had a lot of moments of tenseness as well. The whole it felt like underneath all that fun, there's an uneasy feeling in the back of your mind type of thing that's slowly coming to a boil as the issue goes on. So I really like the suspense. I like the fun. There's a lot of great character work. And of course, the combination of Romita Sr. and Gil Kane on art is absolutely amazing. Continuity absolutely matters. And once again, everything you've read about the Green Goblin still being the only one who knows his identity is coming to a halt. We get progress with Peter in good ways and bad ways. And you're left with a freaking suspenseful cliffhanger of them all with an incredible last page of a freaking cliffhanger. It's just you see it bro, I knew this was coming by a few pages going into us, but man, to actually still see it, it kind of reminded me of when I finished Conan number 28. You kind of knew it was coming in the last few pages, but as soon as you actually see it, you're like, fuck yeah, that was worth it. Freaking worth it. Caster, sir, the ball is yours to talk about ASM number 96.
All right, how could we avoid talking about the ending of this issue? Just bam.
I did that. I saved it for you.
Oh, dude, just him popping off. I remember everything, Peter. Oh shit. Okay, we're getting to the good stuff. And not only that, I've always grown up, right? No, having read the big old Spider-Man dictionary book, So like little things I've known about like Norman Osborn having all these little secret hideouts all over the place, which of course as many of us know, like we later get the Hobgoblin discovering one of those to find out that. And so seeing that here and kind of going through these early issues for the first time, it's like, oh, okay, we're finally getting to all these little things I've always read about, I've always heard mentioned, I've always heard talked about. It's exciting to see them getting brought back into this. Like, okay, we're getting into the core of it. These are all these little elements, all these little tidbits of the Spider-Man mythos that I remember as a kid that I've always kind of known. I'm like, we're finally getting to the good stuff. But no, there's a lot of comedy to it. Like, of course, oh god, Aunt May talking about being a swinger. And it's like, some things just that don't age as well, but you still kind of laugh at it. But I mean,
you got to laugh at it because you know she's trying. Also, it's clear she hasn't gotten out, and Aunt Anna knows that Peter definitely knows that. She's like, you don't talk like that, and it's clear that the New York City in her was coming out as she was out in the public rather than just be sitting at home having tea for the 900th time with Aunt Anna.
But I mean, there's other little things in it that kind of come to mind that. Well, there's a lot I enjoy. There's certain lines in it that just kind of stick out to me, like where Norman's talking about Mary Jane. He's like, Harry, my boy, if I were 20 years younger, and then you stop and think about all the horrible stuff we've gotten over the years, like how apparently Gwen Stacy was fucking Norman Osborn. You're like, oh, right. Let's put some of that in a different context. You're like, oh, there was some bad ideas that came later. You look back on this and you're thinking, why did they do that here? Why did they do that then?
It is funny that you mentioned that, Casser, because when you read this issue, knowing a lot of what has followed, whether it was undone or not, it's still like, oh joy. Since past.
Remember how I talked about a lot of that stuff was nothing more than Tumblr fan fiction? Mm-hmm. Dude, a Gwen Stacy Norman Osborn relationship that
sounds like something of
Tumblr fan fiction, man.
Yeah, sadly, it predated it. Go ahead, Drew. It's not like you're going to say something.
Oh, sorry. There's some things we never want to see. It's the Harry Osborn O face, and I remember we got to see that in that comic. It's like, no, please God, no.
No. Well, it was fanfic's always been around. They used to write it on message boards and like in their journals back in the day.
Yeah.
I love this. I love this with that, man. She's so hip.
Yeah. They're going to see a play called Hair. And I'm thinking, oh, hold on.
So that was notorious back in the day because all the actors, they would get nude on stage.
Yeah. The last scene, everybody gets naked for the last little dance number or whatever.
Yeah.
I did not know this, and now I'm glad I never looked this up.
The only reason I know that is because I watched the VH1 Meatloaf documentary, and Meatloaf was in a version of Hair a stage version of Hair at one point.
And
go ahead, Caster.
Oh, and just if anyone wants to see just this nightmare page we're talking about.
No!
Fuck you, Caster. That's why you don't give him buttons. You don't give him controls. He does shit like that. Fucking
I'm making my channel nude for that.
Oh God. It'd almost be worth it. That way none of us would ever have to see that again. Holy shit. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Holy God. You're a bastard, Ironcaster.
Just imagine the look on my face when I live in a world where Aunt May told Peter to stop being so old-fashioned. Dude, I freaking died from this.
My wife and I were sitting out on the back porch while I was reading this. She was watching the chickens and stuff, and I was reading this. I literally laughed out loud, and I was like, yeah, perpetually 90, Aunt May just said this, and she was like, oh my God. I was like, so fucking great.
Yeah, what a freaking issue. But yeah, this issue had a lot to juggle, and it pulled all of it off.
I would say for the most part, Nick. I would say for the most part.
What part would you say it didn't?
So one part that didn't, maybe it's just me, rereading it again, when we seen Norman flip out, and we're like, well, what's going on here? I'm like, okay, all right, he's not doing well. he starts talking about a door, seeing a door, and we never see this door at any point that he saw. And we're wondering, what the hell did he see? And we're not shown what it was that he saw. I wish there had been like a panel, like just something like, and maybe in the background, like that we don't think anything of it first. But later on, it's like, oh, he was flipping out because that some door behind the stage or whatever that triggered him or something. But we don't see that.
Yeah, at this point, we don't get the idea. We just know he had a key that he forgot he had in his pocket. Who knows how long he had that key? It's clear that the goblin stuff was obviously tacked on. It's, I guess you could say for me, that would be a nitpick. It's something that's not going to bug me too much because it was a long time between when we last saw the Green Goblin, Norman. He's also a resourceful man. It doesn't really bug me, but I can see why it would definitely bug some because you see how everything else is so very tight around the continuity. How did something like this maybe did become a major error, but it's definitely something like, how'd this one slip through the cracks? We couldn't just go to like Oscorp and have him go for the outfit there rather than at this building where a play or a Broadway or whatever it was is going on. Yeah, I can definitely see your point to that as well. For me, though, it definitely fired on all the cylinders, especially in the character work. I absolutely loved it. Oi. Go ahead.
I thought Peter and Norman both saw the door in the hallway of the theater. Are we talking about like the fact that nobody's ever seen? Yeah. If you go to,
I actually don't remember that.
Yeah, if you go to, what is it, page, I don't know, 415, 16, page 16.
Okay.
It's right as it's when they're, or no, it's page. Yeah, it's right when they're walking in there because Peter's looking at the same thing because Peter's spider sense goes off at the same time as Norman's does. When Norman freaks out, Peter's spider sense goes off. I guess page 17.
Okay, I got it up. Hold on, I'm getting it up right now for you guys.
I mean, I guess you don't see like an actual technical door, but they're both sensing it at the same time.
Okay, yeah, right here. Yeah, this is. I'm like, yeah. He says it has to be that door. I'm like, what door? Is it because the doorway's open?
It has to be that door. I'm tingling again.
Yeah, so I guess he didn't. I guess you don't actually see the door, but like Peter's looking over his shoulder, and Peter sees the door too.
He knows something's
off. Green
off.
Panel. Well, because Peter even says something about it being a door in his little thought bubbles, or those all Norman's thought bubbles.
No,
but yeah, see, he's walking past it. He's walking past it nervously. He looked like he wanted to open that door. He's walking past it nervously. So yeah, Peter saw the door too.
Peter saw the door, and I remember Peter seeing the door. It just, I don't recall this room being a thing in any of the preceding issues.
Oh, well, see, and that's what I was at. That's what I was trying to ask.
I was coming from, but
and that's what I was asking for. Is that what we were talking about? Yeah,
I was looking at it from the angle of we've never seen this be like a hideout or a place for Norman.
Oh yeah, for the Green Goblin.
Now, sure, is he the type of guy who would have backup stuff? Sure, but is it kind of random and convenient at that place where they're all hanging out? A little. But it's not the biggest thing that bugs me because everything else is so well done. To me, it's just like when that's the worst of your issues, that's a good problem to have. It's a really good problem to have because nowadays, I don't know. If that came out today, man, that would probably sadly be the least problems of all the things we see in a lot of current Marvel. Nowadays, that'd be probably like, oh, that's the worst thing you could say about it, but nowadays that's called an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But fellow dudes, we have a Fantastic Four issue as well. This was the 585th issue, aka of the Jonathan Hickman run. Of course, this is, I think, the second or third issue with Steve Epting on the pencils. I can't remember which one. It was one, second or third issue. Once again, not as good as Eagles Ham, but much better than Edwards. His scenery looks great, though. His scenery looks great, but you know what? Caster, sir, you were hyping this one in our group chat. I'm going to let you be the leadoff man on this issue.
Right. Well, right off the bat, coming off of the previous issue, which is which I think it might be one of my favorite issues of this entire run. It's up there with Jonathan's Jonathan the birthday.
Yes.
Which, while that was fun because it's like a kid having a birthday party and it's super wholesome and innocent. We get a big like surprise at the end with like him creating a universe and coming from the future, all that. This which, as a reminder, is something that happened and is kind of brought up here. But right off the bat, we are starting right away. Ben and Johnny are driving through town, and we see all the chaos up ahead as we look up, and we have an amazing second page just jumping into here's Galactus looking down on the city. You're like, oh shit. And then on top of that, you got to remember all this is going on while Sue's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is human, so he can't he can't whip his thing out and get
careful with your phrase in there. Oh, carry on.
And all
this
this,
is
it's
the
like
degenerates I hang out with on Saturday nights.
He's hanging out. He's just like, hey, what's up, Galactus? He's like, Reed, you have a lot to explain. You have a lot to atone for here because something is wrong. We found the dead form of myself, and you are all over that scene. You know what happened. You need to start explaining to me because I should not die. Because you gotta remember, Galactus is one of these constants of the universe. He is like an element of nature, and here we found his dead body. Like, of course, you gotta get into this, and especially when you have Galactus and his power. We're finding out that, oh yeah, all that New Earth stuff that we fucking hated, we're finally like making that relevant. I mean, I'm certainly not gonna go back as you act like I remember or care about what was going on with any of that. I want to see Galactus go and like eat him or something because fuck those characters.
That is great. Oh, I love to see it. I love to see it.
And and on top of this, like, oh, Reed is gonna go off with Galactus. He's gonna go off in space. It's Reed in his element. He's surrounded by all this super advanced technology of Galactus. Like, oh, this is like a dream come true for him. But also, like, you got to remember, this is also all going on while the buildup and hype is one of the Fantastic Four are going to die. And then you start thinking about it all. It's like, well, we currently have Reed Richards in the clutches of Galactus being taken across the galaxy. We have, Sue is off on deep underwater dealing with politics. And you're like, okay, and then also Ben is human. So he's kind of the most vulnerable. He doesn't have any powers. You're like, what if it's him? What if it's Reed? What if it's, well, what's Johnny up to? You're like, no, he's just kind of now being the party boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after that, of course, we have, we get to go see, Namor doing his politic thing, and you can remember, like, Namor's like a mega cuck for Sue. It's like, Sue, for you, I would wait forever.
It's kind of impressive that Namor, it's weird. He's like the ultimate cuck and alpha at the same time. If you think about it, I've never seen a dude who could be both, but if you think about it, he kind of is. Because yes, we know you already listed the cuck element, but the fact that this is where the alpha element kicks in. This dude is outmatched by a dude who can stretch whatever he wants, and that does not make Namor budge a single millimeter. You have to have some supreme confidence in your game to not budge by that.
And not only that, like, there's always this sort of air and element about it to where you think, like, there's a possibility Namor could take her away.
Oh, dude, many issues through even back to the original OG Stan and Jack runs. There are many on edge moments. I'm like, could Namor actually do this? Well,
in fact, I think like the very first what if was what if Namor did take Sue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
If it wasn't the first one, it was up there as one of the first.
Yes. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, what do you think of Mr. Steve Epting's art? Do you feel like it's how where are we? Because I know we definitely have had some conversations on the art styles, up and down, up and down, up and down. Where are you with this issue at this point in time with Steve Epting? Does he compare to Eaglesham? Is he better than Edwards? Well, what are you thinking about Mr. Steve Epting here?
He's got some good work to him. There's a lot of his stuff that I do really enjoy, like his Namor. Just you could really get the sense of brooding off of him. There is an immense just power to the way he draws Namor. The shadowing, I'm not as keen on that with the way he draws people in shadows. Like it doesn't quite work for me there.
What
about you guys? Is anything stand out for you?
No.
Oh. Well, I was just gonna say, like, because I was gonna go into it in my little section, but that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm the complete and total normie here when it comes to comic expertise on anything. I just like certain things and prefer other things, right? As soon as I started reading this issue, I instantly knew we had a different artist. Instantaneously. I didn't even go back to check because I knew we were going to talk about it tonight anyway. But like, as soon as I started reading this issue, I was like, we've got a new artist. This is so much better than what we've seen over the last few ones. I really like his Galactus. I think his Galactus looks epic. I think some of these panels would be beautiful posters, although it's still not as good as the older stuff as far as their faces and stuff. It's 10 times better than what we've had in some of these past few issues out there. You know, nobody's fugly in these issues from any angle or from any distance, right? It's like they try to cover it up. Well, because it's far away, so we don't have to put as much detail in there. And I'm like, I saw a random girl get like the absolute hottest treatment for one panel in a Spider-Man issue just because they wanted to put a hot chick in it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, don't give me that excuse. It's just, yeah, everybody looks 10 times better. Like everything looks 10 times better in this one. So yeah, that's just my opinion on the art situation here.
Okay. Before we have you elaborate further, we're gonna have our guest go. Mr. Drew, talk about this issue. Were you there when this issue came out and it was a monthly issue or was this a new experience issue for you now? Because I was there when this came out when it was new. Oh, your mic is off.
Still muted.
We see you. We can see you moving your head. We most definitely see you. That's for sure. But for some reason, the mic settings are just really prejudiced towards. Yeah. Don't worry. Don't rush yourself, man. We're just gonna have this nice visual here to look at someone who's Epting's like, okay, this is my Diet Kirby ship. So we'll admire Diet Kirby's ship.
It is Diet Kirby.
Drew gets it up for us.
The ship's the ship isn't terrible. Like it's a pretty good one. It feels like it's following up on what came before. It's like, yeah, this looks like it was just an updated Kirby design.
Indeed. I appreciate the updated coloring, but I'm still saying, oh, of course.
Oh, amen, brother. 100%.
That's the way of all life, man, is when it comes to the colors. Yeah, especially it's always about the OG. I'm happy that they do it for collected editions and updates. It's always cool. But at the same time, if they just did a reprint by colluding the original colors, and yes, that means if you have to level some of it faded away, I'll still take it. I appreciate the effort, but I'll still take the original colors, even if there's a little bit of fade there, because I just like those colors. And I don't want to let them go. What's up, your Muslim uncle? How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
All right, Drew will be back. So, Common Nerd, sir, why don't you talk to us about the Fantastic Four?
So I really enjoyed this. We still get some of our good quality Ben and Johnny time, although not quite as much, ended rather abruptly because that's how it goes when there's, Galactus in the up, floating up above the town. And so that's just and the best part was that's what I loved, because this was like, we talked about it. I talked about it last week at the end of the last issue. I was like, oh, I just want to read the next one. I'm like, I might have some issues with the art,
My
and
back?
I might have some issues.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Welcome.
I might have some.
Comments going
I might
off,
have.
and then you'll go after.
I might have some issues with like the density of the stories and stuff like that. But it's one of them situations where their cliffhangers have been absolute bangers at like the end of like whoever wrote these, whoever laid all of this stuff out knows how to end an issue, right? Knows how to end an episode. Like my wife and I have been watching like the Matlock show on Paramount, right? Because it's got Kathy Bates and she's just an absolute legend and the woman crushes everything she does. Right. But for all some of the issues that I do have with the show, they know how to end every single episode. It always leaves you on a cliffhanger. And this whole run of Fantastic Four has been so good about that. So I really enjoyed the improvement on the art one. Like I said, I have a lot of fun in these conversations. This thing with the alien guys was completely and totally freaky. And I think this was what was alluded to with Johnny in the earlier issues, these creepy little guys. And that's just straight cult stuff. And the art on these guys looks great too. So there isn't a whole lot of an advancement of the story in this one because we spend so much time seeing the all the stuff going on in Atlantis and seeing the people kind of argue over some of the politics. Some of the densest dialogue in the whole issue is in that section. But it doesn't really advance the story too much because of how it all goes down at the end. But I like the fact that Reed's going off with Galactus because I think that's a story I'm very much interested in seeing how it play out. Now I know it's New World and I don't know much about New World outside of like those that 1 page or 3 panels or whatever we had on that 1 page a few issues back. But I am kind of curious to see how all that goes because the fact that Reed is going with Galactus, like that's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be something cool come out of that. And so I am excited to see that happen. What?
So
don't pee on my parade and spoil things for me.
Well, no. So to give a little bit of context, what we are talking about here's Annihilus. Annihilus is one of these big villains within Marvel that's in the negative zone. We've seen it pop up with early Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And the last time like Annihilus was relevant was the Annihilus wave, a massive wave of just all these like bug aliens and monsters and all this were just flying through space. So while all the heroes on Earth were having this civil war, like out in space, you had all the cosmic heroes were out there trying to do anything and everything they could to stop them. Like I think we got like the death of some prominent characters out of this. It made the Civil War look like petty squabble in the grand scheme of things because planets were in the balance. Like the Guardians popped up on Earth to come look for help, and they saw that Captain America, Iron Man are fighting, and here's like the Guardians basically coming in like look around like, guys, what are you doing? You don't understand. Like the shit going on out there is like nothing. You have any idea what's going on. And so you have here basically the threats of, oh shit, something like that is building again.
Well, Common, sounds like you have. Do you have anything else you want to add before you transition?
No, I was just going to say, outside of that, the ending on this is, of course, just another absolute banger. And, I really like the scene with the kids because that is really funny because, like, Johnny's trying to teach them, all the kids, a lesson with the story that he's telling them. And they all come up with the scientific answer, not the moral lesson out of the story, you know?
Well, Fantastic Four response to this in this family. It's a very F4 response.
And I love it, though, because that once again shows you that although these kids are super geniuses, they are not wise, right? And so that was a lot of fun. So even then, that shows even silly old, not quite as a smart Johnny out there has got something to teach everybody, too. So I loved that scene as well. All right, now I'm done.
It's the street smarts versus the book smarts, and that's what Ben had.
Absolutely.
He had street smarts against the kids' book smarts. So, okay, before we transition
experience
to our next
over knowledge
panelists, let's introduce our other featured panelists on the show. How's it going, Pablo?
Howdy ho! Oh, god damn it, that went wrong.
Dude, it has been a week. It has been.
I can tell, man. You and I spoke about it. How are you
Yeah.
feeling? You doing all right?
Yeah. You know, there's sometimes that you wonder where you will be when time comes.
The debt comes
Yeah,
due.
this person had a great life, even though everything crumbled on a really terrible way when my country went through the financial crisis on the 2000s. They lost everything, and I mean, they used to have one of the no the biggest tourism company on the country.
Mm-hmm.
They had a fleet of planes,
Mm-hmm.
of yachts, of everything, and they lost everything that time. But got everything back, raised great kids, and goddamn, if anything, I will take their lives as inspiration. No, both of them are gone, so that's sad, but that's life.
It is, and that's why we gotta keep moving forward, man. And
Yep.
that's something you and I will be doing come Thursday when we start as the first episode of the Nick Talks Trek show. So
Oh, hell
looking
yeah.
forward to it, man, because I got my watching of the first two episodes. I'm looking forward to that. We'll get into that for a plug at the end of the show. Sir Drew,
Those are some salty episodes.
you're up, batter, sir. Now that I'm sure your mic is all functioning and alive, thank you for your patience. Obviously, you can tell we get passionate on these things, which I know you would understand all too well. So, talk about the Fantastic Four 585 and your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so I was reading this when this originally came out. I was going to the shop, and I was a big Dale Eaglesham fan. But at the same time, yeah, I noticed the art change, Steve Epting. I was like, oh, wait a second. I was like, why does this name sound so familiar? But then I remembered, oh, yeah, he worked on the Avengers comics from the late 1990s with Bob Harris. And I've got that omnibus right over here in my bookshelf.
Nice.
And very well-regarded artist. And he did the Captain America Winter Soldier run with Ed Brubaker.
Yes.
And, so I love his take on the FF here, and Namer's drawn like just an absolute Chad here, and I had to remember that. Oh yeah, this was the time when he was on the X-Men, because he was the first mutant, and he was part of the team. But yeah, I love how he's doing his negotiations here with the different communities within Atlantis and the different treaties. Yeah, it's the one hell of a cliffhanger. I love it. And what's interesting is that looking at back on it in hindsight is that you really
your mic cut out. You're right when you said, and you're saying back in hindsight, it cut out, and he's still going. Oh no, Drew!
Oh no, he can't hear
Lost
us.
you again.
No, it's not that he's still going. I think there's something wrong with his mic, and that's why it's lighting
his
up the
mic cut
box
out.
like that.
I'm gonna put in the private chat. He was saying at the last part we heard was in hindsight, and they cut right off at in hindsight. Yeah. Oh no!
I have to admit though, the ending of this just reminded me how much of a dick fucking Namor is, and like once again, you want to know why Namor could never pull off Sue? Because he does shit like that. That's why. That's why it's never gonna happen.
Not only that, like getting into this, you kind of get this. You almost get lulled into a sense of expectations of like Namor is going to show up. Namor is going to like kind of play ball, and he's going to go along with what Sue wants. But when you get to the end of it, you really remember, oh wait, no, he's still Namor. He's going to do what he decides is best because he's a king.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember, you might think that they are showing you that Namor is a dick, but at least you are not back on the
my back, can you hear me?
Specials where they showed you Namor's dick.
Oh man, homoerotic. All right, Drew, you last left off in hindsight. Like talk about the weirdest timing where you say that word and you get cut off.
And absolutely, yeah, and no way, don't ever do, yeah. But yeah, it's looking back on it now, comparing to what Hickman was leading to with New Avengers and the Illuminati. You really see the foundation laid here for the Secret War,
as well as Convergence. It's all kind of began here with what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, and you're right, because after Hickman finished with Fantastic Four, he jumped into Avengers. He just kept rolling everything he was doing into each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, hey, beautifully said, dear sir. Thank you very much. Pablo, you're going to be our last man up to talk about this issue. And then we're going to talk about some comics our guest has to show off. So, Sir Pablo, light it up.
There's something about seeing Galactus trying to talk things with Johnny Storm that feels absolutely fantastic. Right? There's that moment when Johnny is charging and Galactus is, we are not fighting here. We're talking. Don't worry. Everything is fine. And you just don't expect those kind of interactions. So I found it not refreshing, just exciting, Everything of the team up is something that you normally don't really expect. But yeah, they are seeing a threat that is bigger, a threat that they have to solve, because the surfer says there's something leaking where New World should be. So what's happening? And we have seen in the previous issue some panels of everything that's happening with Ultron. But yeah, this is going straight to Secret Wars and is changing a bit on how you are supposed to expect interactions to go. And yeah, that includes Namor. Namor obviously is a really difficult character to write in these kind of situations because he's trying to get peace. He's trying to start maybe a new civilization with the two Atlantis, the old Atlantis and the new Atlantis as a thing. But he's also an asshole. So he's not the one for diplomacy. He's not the one to actually try to do things right. Still, he's trying to show off to Sue.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because at the end of the day, Sue is a bit of a weakness for him, but he is still a king, and he's willing to play ball to a point.
Yeah, he's allowing himself to be shown in the light of a measured man in front of Sue, and Sue is the first to know that he's an absolute bighead. So I don't know what he's trying to do, but it comes as a mature interaction. If you don't know the character, it comes out really different. At least if you have seen some of the stupid shit that Namor has pulled off.
I want a dub of like Namor, but he's Trump. There is but one king under the sea, Imperius Rex.
That would be glorious.
And yeah, everything is coming to fruition. Everything is happening. My only question is if they are going to have enough time. Because, yeah, they are having Namor fighting old Atlantis. Okay. They are having the books invading. Okay. Can we get an issue for every single one of these things without having to see whatever is happening in the other? Because we are mixing up too many storylines. And I know there's something that is coming that is going to be big, but it's a bit discombobulating if you have a bit of the conversation in this issue, a bit of the conversation in next issue. This is not One Piece.
Sure, but I think there is an importance there to also show like the family is split together, and
for
as important as the strength of them all being together, the point here is we're going to separate them and see how strong can they be under pressure when they're apart, when they aren't all there to support each other. And also, it goes to show you like no, they couldn't have been there to help each other out because here they are separated by the length of the galaxy, or they're so tied up with everything else going on.
But we kinda had that in previous issues. The issue where Johnny takes Franklin and the other kid to the toy store is basically just a Human Torch issue. Yes, you have a bit of an explanation on whatever is happening with everyone, but the issue feels like the story is there. Everything that happened that day is there. Here, you don't get the whole picture of the story that is happening in this until maybe next issue, maybe 2 issues later. I want to read everything that's happening on Atlantis as a single book. Everything that is happening with the books as a single book. Everything that is happening with Erit and Galactus as a different book. Because I want to have enough continuity to be excited when things happen. Because there are some things that I didn't remember from the previous issue that were tied to this issue, specifically to Namor arriving and wanting to go into this peace talk. I have forgotten that happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, this whole story arc, this whole run of comics has had so many of these little storylines going on that it does get easy to forget about things going on. Like all that New Earth stuff that I'm not silent about having no interest in, finally came up and became relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that you were right. There is a problem there where they do have kind of too many things going on, but that's sort of what happens when you got a guy trying to plan and set up an entire franchise changing storyline.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm used to that. That's why I'm saying this is not One Piece. In One Piece, you have a couple of pages every so often that is actually a map that tells you where every character is and what that character is doing at that moment. Because you lose track. There's a lot of characters on the crew, and every single one is doing something different. Everybody is in their own mission, because that's how One Piece works, right? Mm-hmm. You get to the island, you get everybody separated, everybody gets a new power up or does something incredible, and then everybody is back to the ship and they are sailing to the next adventure. But you have these issues where you actually need an explanation where everybody is. And in an American comic, that's way more difficult to pull.
Especially with how busy it can get. And this is a very busy run.
This issue is crazy. Yeah, there's a lot happening.
It's amazing. It's amazing reading this compared to his run on Ultimate Spider-Man, where literally nothing happens for several issues. It's like this is the same guy.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Drew, because I will talk about like on other episodes of the show, and I'll talk about how Jonathan Hickman does not seem like the same writer. You could ask Pablo Castor comment. They've heard me say this time and time again. Like, I see what you guys say about Ultimate Spider-Man, and then I read F4, and hell, I can even look at the Avengers stuff and see that there's a difference, because everything is very pragmatic, especially in New Avengers. I get it's a heavy storyline, but I feel like, at least with this F4 run, yeah, it's tense. Yes, there's moments of darkness, but it still feels like a sci-fi book. It still feels like a family book. It still feels like a Marvel Comics world. And obviously, that's still all counted as part continuity in the Avengers, New Avengers. But just the darkness is so brooding. It was like, I was like, what is going on? This story has gotten insanely dark. It was that way the whole time. And then also I look at the stuff you guys cover in Ultimate Spider-Man, and then on top of it, it was just dragging on. And that's something he started to really do a lot in the mid-2010s to now. He liked to have his stories drag on. Even though there was a lot of exposition in this issue and ones preceding it and after it, at least stuff happens in each issue. There are several issues where nothing happens in his later output. And I think that's a big difference of the exposition to then to now.
So basically what you are trying to say is that he should be back on coke.
It would help, I think. It would give his stories a little bit more life. I'll say that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. I really would like to know what happened because I like this Jonathan Hickman. I really, really like this Jonathan Hickman. If anything, I feel like I was too hard on this Jonathan Hickman back on the day. Now I can go back and I really appreciate this run. And I'm like, wow, I don't know where my headset was at the time, but I really enjoy this run. You know, a few inconsistencies on the art aside, as a story, I'm really enjoying this run.
Yeah. The run should be. I think it's better to read it as an omnibus, as a compendium. Because there's so many storylines that you need to keep track that if you're binging it, you are doing it right.
Well, dudes, I think that about covers it for the F4 until we do 586 next week and ASM number 97, countdown to 100. But guys, we're an hour into the show and we're enjoying ourselves. It's time to have our guests talk about some goods, some comics, if you will. Sir, I have Bloody Echoes up. Unless you have another link you want me to talk about first, what would you like to start off with your creator-owned work? Because we could go a lot of directions with this.
So we can start with Bloody Echoes.
Sure.
So I actually didn't create this.
Okay.
This was an original concept that was printed over 25 years ago. It came out as the Tin Can Man through Image Comics.
Okay.
And it didn't do well at all. It only did I think 3 issues. But apparently the writer, that was the only thing he did. But everyone else involved, they weren't fans. So Dietrich Smith, I think he got the rights back, and he wanted to tell the story right. You know, he wanted to be able to tell it better. So Murat saw all the good work I've been doing for him, and he brought me on to work on this. I've been working on this for, I think almost 3 years.
Woo!
And we're just now getting it out. Yeah. So the art was done pretty much. So I'm having to go back and do all the dialogue and captions after the fact, and the art can't be changed. So yeah, that was a challenge in itself. But fortunately, I had a good buddy, Joe Corallo of mine, Eisner winner. He came on and gave me a hand with this as the editor. So yeah, I think we did a good job telling a fun horror story here.
Okay, awesome. So let's go through some of these covers here because cover A, and this one was from, I'm not going to try to butcher his name.
Oh, that was Dietrich
Smith. And then Murat Michaels. Man, they just want me to mess up English so badly. I like this name here for cover C, Jonathan Glapion.
Yeah, he was
of Marvel, and now he's not a part of Marvel anymore.
Well, not just that, he was the longtime inker for Greg Capullo.
Oh, yeah, so
New 52 Batman.
The falling out, the infamous falling. That's what it was. Okay. Man, good getting him on here, man. Hell yeah.
The big one is the next one.
Yes.
To me, this was the one when Murat said, "Well, we got it covered by Jeff Darrow." I'm like, I'm in. I'm doing it. I don't care what it is. So yeah, Jeff Darrow, yes, the Matrix, Jeff Darrow, big guy in Rusty fame. Yeah, he did that cover there, and I can die a happy man knowing I've written a project that Jeff Darrow is attached to.
That's wild, dude. Guys, I put the link in the chat on YouTube and Rumble for Bloody Echoes. I think this has a week left now in the campaign? It's almost 6 days, something like that.
Yeah, about a week left.
Okay, so this is your chance. Give it a look. See what seems appealing to you. Have your pick with the covers. Really affordable. I backed this day one, of course. I was like, okay, I can dig for this money out of my couch type of deal. I'm not and that's the facts of life, man. But this looks fun. It looks funny. And I've never read the story before, and shame on me for never even heard of it.
Most haven't. So don't be, when Murat said it was, I'm like, I never even heard of this. What is this?
Okay. I was like, this is new to me. Very new to me. So I love it. I love how this looks. This sounds like it's a fun time. And man, I just can't wait. What is the estimate on fulfillment for when this look at the spring, early summer? What's the estimate looking like? Uh-oh. The mic! The mic! He'll be back.
Got him again.
It's those damn feds. It's those damn feds. I tell you.
Go support this comic so that way he can buy himself a new mic.
Okay, am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Jeez, I don't. Wow.
It's okay, man. It's not a big deal. It's
This
just
is a
so
Yeti.
crazy.
This is a Bluetooth Yeti. I don't know what's going on with this. Wow.
I got
To be
Bluetooth
fair,
Yeti as well.
But to be fair, Streamlabs does be kind of glitchy sometimes.
We'll blame Streamlabs. We'll just call.
Yeah, I'm
them
gonna blame
and say go.
Streamlabs.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
100%.
like that. So okay, guys, Bloody Echoes, about a week. Link is in the chats for both these comics. I think Drew had one more comment to say about this one before we talk about some of his other pieces of work, the stuff that he is a core writer on. You had a thought before the feds got you.
Oh, I was just going to say that this is being fulfilled by Murat Michaels. So even though it's under our name, so as soon as Dietrich is done with the inks, Murat's going to be getting the print files and everything. He'll be he and his wife Mandy will be getting it all packed up and shipped out from where they're at.
Okay, excellent. You know what? Let's get into. God, where is it here? I'm gonna get. Oh, I gotta make sure it's not gonna dox me in any way. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? All right, now about your other books here. This is probably my favorite one of yours that has come out. This is called Silent Nights, and Silent Nights. This first issue was a perfect sample of what is to come for us. The start of a story. This was a very definitive. Number one, you got a great idea of what the story is going to be about. You get a whole lot of brutality. And I remember being kind of a few pages into this thinking, I'm not sure where I'm going with this or how I'm feeling. But then my skepticism turned into major optimism by the end of this issue. I fell in love with this comic. I was like, okay, I'm freaking in. And it's got some brutality, man. It's got some damn brutality. And it feels like our protagonist here is going to absolutely Ric Flair her way out of this and be the dirtiest player in the game by any means necessary.
And she's not just the only one. There's going to be a few more operatives in this series that Tiago de Silva's created. So there's going to be a little team of them. So yeah, I've been kind of developing this whole world with these characters and this whole unit, this group that they work for, and developing their mission statement, their goal, how it all started, and just kind of planting the seeds for things to come. I want to talk about more of it, but issue 2 isn't even out yet. I think we're going to have the 2 preview edition at MegaCon, which is going to be awesome. We've got some hot covers for that at MegaCon next month. But the story is only going to get a little bit wilder and crazier. It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. Now, since obviously these books were fulfilled, thank you, by the way, you did great. Is there any way people can still buy these issues now? Could they still go on Kickstarter and buy these and they would get shipped soon? Or is there another link that they would have to go to for these?
The Comic Mint. They can go to the comicmint.com. They can go there to get the.
Let me get that out then.
You can go to get the Silent Nights copies there, as well as Unholy Nightmare.
Okay, awesome. Because I am getting that out right now for. I find you got a few variant copies here. We'll do this just for our chat because we love our chat here. So, dudes, let's look at a cover from thecomicmint.com. Okay. And I know Common Nerd, try to keep it together here. Okay. So don't
I was gonna say I don't even know anything about the story, and he's already sold me just with the covers. So you guys, I married a redhead, so you guys know how I feel about things.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this right in the chat, guys. This is a stellar #1 issue, a freaking badass ass kicker of a time, and it takes place right around Christmas.
Yeah, so
it's right around your timing of that with the dialogue and the music. I was like, this is kind of poetic how this is all flowing.
Yeah, well, so they told me Tiago and Steve said the title of the series is going to be called Silent Nights. There's no changing that. I was like, okay, all right. So I'm just going to have Silent Nights, the Silent Night the song, and have that be a part of the first issue. You got kids outside the UN building singing Silent Night, and when we open we open it on a couple in the UN where it's not so silent with things that they're doing in extracurricular activities.
So okay, so right now with Silent Night, you have one issue out. Are you looking at that being a long-running series? Are you looking at maybe a limited series worth of issues? Or are you figuring it out as you go along? What's your deal with it currently?
I think we're planning on 8 issues right now. I've
8 issues. Okay.
The first 4 issues are completely scripted. 2 through 4 are completely scripted, ready for art. Actually, 2 is almost done. 3 is being inked right now. So we should hopefully be starting 4 not too long from now. Not too far from now.
Also, you're just really staying ahead of the game. Dude, that is great that you're doing that. That is freaking awesome. I was going to sound like Mike Tyson for a second. I was going to say awesome. Awesome. So I love that. I love to see that.
One thing I've learned is that I sell people on my idea, and they're like, and then what happens next? And then what happens next? I'm like, well, I need to start fixing this problem. So I started staying ahead of the game.
No, that's a good problem you want to have. That's exactly what you want people to be reacting like. Is, oh, hey, tell me what happens because I want to know. And shit, man, you had me want to know because where the issue started, once again, I wasn't too sure, but then you flipped on my head for the end of the issue. I was like, holy damn, this son of a bitch, he got me. He freaking got me. And you know what? I respect that game, man. I respect that game. You always sound like a little, like, are you talking about Michelangelo from TMNT? Common.
No, Mike Tyson.
Oh.
Little bit of a list. Okay.
Well, I've been told I'm a real life Michelangelo from TMNT before, so
that's just because you love pizza. That's because you're a fanatic about pizza. That's why.
I have not had pizza since, what day is today? Saturday. I'm going to sound like a crackhead. I have not had pizza in 2 days.
Man,
that sounds about right because you are a crackhead. Your crack is just pizza. You're a drug addict. Your drug is just pizza. That's all, Nick. Yeah, see, exactly. He's scratching. He's got the twitching. He's gonna start like selling his body out on the corner for pepperonis and pizza slices. Like it's gonna get bad.
Okay, let me see if I understand how this works. To keep your kids away from drugs, you get them into Magic the Gathering. And to keep your kids away from Magic the Gathering, you get them into pizza.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Guys, the real genius move is if you get them into, like, tabletop gaming, D&D, they will have no money for drugs because all those Magic cards, all those Warhammer minis, they cost a lot of money. Like,
no, for real.
The plastic and cardboard crack are far more addictive.
Okay, this is...
They sell it at Walmart!
This is something really funny. There's a kid on the store where I play, that I was talking to him about his deck and the upgrades that he's doing, and he goes like, because I had to buy this card, I couldn't buy weed this month. I'm like, yeah, it works. It really works.
So, go ahead, Caster.
So Pablo, I got off the Magic stuff. Like I quit buying packs like a decade ago. I really haven't gone and really done much with Magic. Like I play occasionally, but I haven't been buying cards. then, as it turns out, like the local shop by me has started carrying the Gundam trading card game.
Oh, I saw the. Oh, there's some really crazy good art on that game.
And there's a couple people there who are trying to invite me out to play, and I'm like, oh, do I want to get back into a card game?
Well, if they do a Kamen Rider card game.
Fair. All right. I'm probably gonna go back like next week, and we'll see.
You will go full Tojima.
Drew, Unholy Nightmare. You have what, 2 issues of this out now? 2 of them. Obviously, this is the first issue. This is your variant from when you're at NYCC, aka New York Comic Con. And if I'm correct, I think this takes place in your home state. So I feel like this story must hit a little close to home for you per se. So tell the chat about Unholy Nightmare, because I've read this and this is a fun time as well.
Yeah, so the quick little elevator pitch is superhero monsters fighting evil monsters. That's this series. And yeah, it takes place in Gary, Indiana, Northwest Indiana, as well as Chicago. And we're introduced to our heroes. One of which is the Recluse, he's our John Wick Spider-Man character. We got our character Jenny Loftmore here. She works with the Chicago Police Department, but we discovered that she's a werewolf, and we also discovered that the Recluse is able to turn into a giant spider as well. So there's more to them, and we also discover at the end of issue 1, a character named Vlad shows up and says, "Hey, welcome to the team. Welcome to the next phase of the humanity." And it's like, what's going on here? And they meet the new group that's been brought together in issue 2, which we're introduced to the Golem from Jewish folklore. We're introduced to a character called the Trinacria, based on Sicilian folklore, and a priest, Father Mario, and they're all brought together for a reason, which we're going to find out in issue 3. And it all stems from the reveal at the end of issue 2 who the big villain is. It's Herbert West. The Reanimator, Herbert West.
Oh yeah, no, I've read these 2 issues. I've had a fun time with both of them. I look forward to issue 3, and 2 was what, that came on the fall, I think, or was it?
Yeah.
Was it right? Yeah, right around the fall. Okay.
So we're ramping up production now because we've got a lot of retailers on board now.
Nice,
especially out in New Jersey. We got a few major retailers out there getting involved, and so they're like, "Hey, what's going on with issue 4, with issue 5?" And I'm telling Aurelio, "Hey, either shape up or ship out. You got to go faster, man." Woo! So he's like, "Well, I can." He's like, "Unfortunately, I can't keep up at this rate. You know, he's got a day job of teaching. He's having medical issues. He's got family issues. So he's like, bring on another artist to do the next 2 issues, and I can come back and do 6. I was like, okay. So Aurelio's finishing up 3, then he's going to do 6. So, but for issues 4 and 5, we have the artist Andre Lunatic doing the interiors. Andre Lunatic did the interiors for a book called Aftermath that I wrote for Blaine Canada Publishing. And he's doing a lot of interior work for work I did for Marat Michaels, including Pray for the Center, Reign of Vengeance, both of which haven't come out yet. But he is a superstar when you see his art. And we got Shelby Robertson doing his inks as well. So the interiors are going to look like $1 million. And no one's going to see the story coming by the end of issue 4. And we got some huge names coming on for covers. One of which Shelby did the cover. That was revealed on our stream. I think I sent you the image, actually, Nick. Shelby's cover that he did. I think I
Elias cover?
No. The Elias cover. That was a SR International exclusive for Valentine's Day. But I think I sent you.
I got it. Unholy Nightmare 3, page 1.
No. That's page 1. No, I sent you the cover that Shelby Robertson did.
I got it. And it's blacks and whites with the inks. Dude, it looks freaking glorious. I found it. Let me show it off because it looks fucking badass. So, let's look at that shite. Okay. Boom. And, oh, man, there's way too many buttons, Streamlabs. There you go. Look at that shite. Look at that. Oh,
That is
man.
dope.
I know,
Yeah.
dude. It
So,
looks good.
One of my favorite series
That's fucking
of all time is
cool.
Miracle Man, and one of my favorite issues of all time is Miracle Man 15. And this is an homage to that cover that John Totleben illustrated. So
Really nice.
nice little reflection of what's to come in issue 4. And I'm not going to say who that person is with the mask who's getting ready to snap the recluse's neck. But yeah, things are going to be changing by the end of issue 4.
Dude, it looks fucking badass. It looks so damn good. What other books do you want me to show off here? Because I know we've got Unholy Nightmare, Silent Nights. I brought up Bloody Echoes. I think we're missing one or two that our chat should know about. What are we missing?
Well, there's a few that aren't out yet. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there's, like I said, Reign of Vengeance coming out from Murat Michaels. There's Pray for the Sinner. It's already been out, but we got another issue coming out that I wrote. It's gonna be coming out. I did some dialogue for Christy Kringle for Murat Michaels. It sounds like I'm doing a lot for Murat Michaels, and that's true.
That's a good thing.
But yeah, there's I got another series called Depths of Valor that's going to be coming out soon. It's a World War II.
Depths of Valor. I remember that from a while back. Okay, so what's the status on that one?
First issue is done, and I do know that Steve, who's the publisher, owner of the Comic Men, this story was from him. He's playing it close to the chest. He's like, I want to wait till the next few issues are done to put them all out. But everyone who's read that first issue has absolutely loved it. And it's by far been the best thing apparently I've written that people love. So yep, there's the cover that Nate Watson did.
Okay.
From New York Comic Con a couple years ago.
Okay. And how many issues have come out of this to
Just
date?
one.
Just the one. Okay, so you guys are gonna really make sure you play catch up to make sure you make up for lost time then.
Yeah, because and what's great is that I've got the first 2 and 3 are completely scripted, done, ready to go for art. And so we're just staying ahead of the game on that.
Nice. Once again, chat on YouTube and of course on the green button. These are the links to Depths of Valor so you can get started and get familiarized with yourself. I feel like you are covering almost every genre for this book. What genre have you not covered yet? Maybe you could say, sure,
romance.
You haven't done like teen romance or something.
Yes, there you go. Teen romance.
Okay. Do you have some twisted version of that comment, or is that is that something you're just gonna stay away from altogether?
Well, no, I would say there's a couple titles I'm working on. They're going to have some romantic elements in them. One of which we're going to see it. We're going to see a little bit of it develop in Unholy Nightmare a little later on in the series. So I've already written the first 14 issues of Unholy Nightmare. So we're going to see a little bit. We're going to see that evolve, and we're going to see that in the new Naughty and Nice series I'm writing for Murat Michaels. So we're going to be seeing that play out in the second volume of Naughty and Nice. I've written a full 15 issue series for Naughty and Nice that isn't out yet. So we're going to see that come out. So that's my first hand in it. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Excellent, dude. Bad freaking ass. The future is wild, dude. I mean, now your story is another thing, and I can't believe I never made this connection. I should have. I was being mean to ask you this over DMs a while back. Are these all their own stories, their own continuities, or is there a bit of connective tissue? Because you have a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm like, hold on, is this a connect? I don't feel like there's been any hints. No. But I feel like you've got enough of a thing there where it feels like you could have a universe worth of stories if you wanted to, even though it doesn't feel like there's an intention there.
Yeah, if I wanted to, they could be, but no, they're not. They're not connected. None of them are connected.
Okay, is that something you would have you consider, or do you like the art of separation with these?
It's when I think about them for these, I'm like, I don't really see how some of these could come together if they really should be together. I like them being their own thing.
Okay. Hot dog. I like that. Power Hour has some very nice, very. I don't know who Power Hour is, but I believe you, Common Nerd. I like how Common Nerd just throwing that in for our chat there.
It's something that was like I don't know. It's one of the links that Vince sent. Something had something that was connected to his stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
That was a series I was attached to very, very, very briefly. And
okay, that's what
yeah.
See, I knew it had something to do with Drew. I wasn't crazy.
Yeah,
I wasn't completely off the rails.
No, you weren't. It's something I had to deal with early on, and let's just say that it was not a pleasant experience.
Oh shit!
Yeah. When you're working for a pornographer, and just they have their ideas for it, and you're going through 8 drafts of a script, and
Jesus.
And this is coming from the person who's overseeing it. It's someone who. Oh God! Oh man, I don't know if I should start airing this, but let's just say, all I should say.
You know what?
all I'm going to say is that if you have a publisher who thinks that Daphne and Velma having a 3-way with their therapist is a high form of art storytelling,
shit!
Stay away from them.
Wait, that happened?
That happened through another book he published or. Book. Yeah.
Exactly. Vince has got it right on. Vince has got it spot on.
That explains a lot of things.
He was in college. He needed
you were young and needed the money. Got it.
We got it. We get it. No worries.
Well, it's so fun. It's so funny you say that because a little parallel to that is I met David Finch for like the second or third time back in. Had to been like 2020, but we found some early cover work he had done where you see like a complete fully nude woman, bush and everything on the cover. So we had like several copies. We took them for him to sign at a convention. He's sitting right next to his wife, mind you.
Shit!
So he looks down at them. He's staring at them for like had to been a solid minute. He looks back up at me and says, "Don't show these to my wife, please."
No shit.
Yeah.
I can't say I blame him for that. I mean, he probably.
But hey,
he forgot he drew those.
It was a long time ago, and just he was young, needed the money, so there you go.
We don't judge.
The things us dudes will do for the money, and then not remember it years on. Like, oh shit!
But yeah,
guys, memory hold this one.
But yeah, a little fun fact: the Power Hour books; those are the only ones I will not sign. I will not.
All right. Well, I guess I won't order. I guess I won't order any of those then.
Dude, if you're so I saw your Comic Mint link said that the Silent Nights were both sold out. The covers for that. When's the reset gonna come for those, or do you guys plan on making maybe an add-on for when issue 2 hits? Because I definitely feel like there'll definitely be interest for that one when that hits.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when we launch issue 2, we're gonna offer a chance to get the first issue, and I'm gonna be doing that for Unholy Nightmare as well. Because when we get to Unholy Nightmare 4, I told you, Nick, I'm not telling you the big name we got on the cover for issue 4. Trust me, it will break brains. I will be getting hate mail. I get a lot of people who are pissed off by it. But
okay, I won't ask who, but can I say was this somebody canceled?
Oh God, a long time ago.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that could be a lot of names because if you consider it stage 1 of the cancellation wave, there's quite a few names who were yeeted out pretty early on. I remember I was living in Chirac in the time when that happened, and I was still trying to make sense of it all and didn't really understand it. So okay, I couldn't tell you the name. I look forward to the reveal of that though, whenever that is. I'll be patient, very patient, and hope for the best on this. But I'm sure you're gonna get a good get on it. Seems like you definitely are making your rounds in the industry per se, which is nice that you have these books that people are enjoying and wanting to a point where they're selling, where they have to go to these other websites to get it. And then crap, some of them are even selling out even. And concerning the state of the North American industry in 2026, I think this is a testament to your work, dude. So you gotta give it to yourself and your crews of artists, your inkers, your editors, who you work with. You guys clearly got something going on that someone likes.
I don't need Marvel. I don't need DC. Hell, I don't even need Image. And I'm fine doing it my own way. And the way I see it, they need me. And so, but I'm fine doing my own thing. I love doing my own thing. I love being independent and just more or less for the most part calling the shots on how the story goes.
Imagine that. Full creative control with your own stories, and you get the money back for it, and the experience and the fact that you can talk about these stories and share them with us. It just sounds unparalleled. That doesn't sound like something that would be allowed at Marvel, even if there was a great story that came out.
Yeah,
you get the experience of the great story, but the writers nowadays, the pay rates nowadays, like, I've heard some stories, but then when you got some of the more prominent like writers confirming that no, that's actually true, that's actually happening. There's no incentive to go there. Even if someone wanted to
I have said, I think Aaron and I have talked about this. Like, if I were ever hired, by chance to go to DC Comics to work on either Ragman or Wild Dog or the Spectre, I would do it. I'd do it pro bono on the house just to prove a point. Just that I would kick ass without being paid. I'm like, if what you're going to pay me, give it to the artist. I don't need the money. I want to show you what a real writer wants to do here. That I'm not doing it just for the fucking money.
Amazing. Well, hey, wishful thinking. Maybe one day. We'll have that one quick freelance assignment. You get in there, you get out, and you're like, okay, I don't need you guys again, and that's it. And
if I ever get to tell my Ragman story, I can die a happy man.
Whoo! Oh man, smoking. I love to see that. Chat, please sound off if you have any other thoughts. Mr. Drew, do you have anything else you want to add or present to us? Whether it's art, pages, I don't know if you want to throw anything at me so we can just show it off to show people, what you have done, what's coming out. Anything else you want to give to us?
I wish I had some cover work ready for MegaCon to show you guys, but I don't have any of the finished art in yet. But one name I can say for MegaCon, Dan Fraga. I got a cover from him.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Dude. Badass, man. I'm glad you were able to get that for MegaCon. Good. No, because I haven't seen about him do any work in a while now. So that's good. I'm glad to know he is getting work again, because he is a really killer artist and someone who really we haven't heard much about it in a few years. So that is good to know that Mr. Fraga is getting work. I love to hear that. I fucking love to hear that. Chat, sound off on thoughts, whatever. Panel, what are you guys thinking?
Art is dope.
Art is dope. I'm gonna go get my copy of Silent Nights. And I'm gonna salt the wound, especially to comment. Because if any man's going to feel rubbed the wrong way, he's going to be the one who definitely deserves it. So let me go get it.
It just means I have to ask my wife to rub me the right way later. So, no,
Tender.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise. We'll see what happens. But it's one of them situations where you guys know, I used to have a Wednesday night show where we promoted indie comics every week. So I love this stuff. I love seeing the success of this. The art obviously is incredible on all of these covers that I've seen so far. And these stories are right up my alley. I love all of the fantasy demon, dealing with ghosts and monsters and hell and all of that kind of stuff. Like the angels and demons stuff is always right up my alley. So you've got me certainly piqued on interest on this one, and I can't wait to see more of this. And trust me, tax returns coming real soon. There's going to be a lot of my indie comic book creators that I'm going to be helping support. So, Drew, I need to get in contact with you so that way we could, work things out once I get the whole thing in. But fuck you, Nick. I love you. Lots of homo, lots of hard in your rear end kind of niceness. Jesus, there you go. You
Look at the now let's talk about the brutality. This shit doesn't
oh god, that
with the brutality.
Is that her fist going all the way in his mouth?
Something no, but it's what she actually does is just as brutal.
Oh, okay.
With the neck. Dude, it is freaking
dude, that's
crazy.
so
I'm like,
gnarly.
this is some shit that would happen like the movie Roadhouse, except with a femme fatale and weapons included.
She's grabbing him. Yeah, she's grabbing him by the throat just from the backside.
Well, and I love a lot of the femme fatale, and then even like some like with what we've got with Nightmare here, some kind of like the pinup aspects almost. And because I love all of that kind of stuff. I love, the 80s horror movies, all of that, like, kind of like the classic era of monsters and stuff like that. So I love a lot of that.
I love the fight choreography here. Panel to panel to panel. Just I can see, hear, feel the flow of the action as it is all happening.
You can feel the flow.
I'm back. There we go.
Yeah.
It's okay.
There he is.
I'm just showing off.
We got you.
I'm just showing off some pages here.
One thing
about the flow of this.
Yeah, one thing, Nick, I take great pride in are my fight scenes. I choreograph all of my fight scenes, and I want them to all have weight, purpose. You can understand the movement and the flow, and I just that's one thing I feel like we don't see a lot of in the current Marvel and DC. We don't see kick-ass fight scenes like this anymore.
No, we're really lacking, if anything. Like, we have way too much talking stories, and there are times when you do get action, it's maybe a moment. And once again, just to bring up Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man again, if memory serves correct, I think you and Wes were saying for the first year of the run, there was maybe a quarter of action within the first 12 issues. So you're telling me you maybe had 4 issues of action, maybe out of 12 issues?
I would say closer to probably 3, not even 4.
Oh my! See, that's even when you have like a good artist can't save a story like that. It's one of those things where it's almost like it's a waste of a good artist at that point. Because they had what's that guy? Marco Cicchetto on
Cicchetto, and then he had I think the Dodsons maybe did an issue.
Terry Dodson, okay.
And I think they had a few more, but still, if you're just drawing talking heads and you're drawing Uncle Ben and JJ Jonah Jameson in a steam bath, hanging out with each other. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, no,
that's all kinds of fucking disturbing.
Yeah, and there's the last page. There's the big reveal. Like that's the plot C. That's going to eventually be plot A. That when we get into the subsequent issues.
I'm just looking at the covers.
Well, I got a print courtesy of our man here, and he gave me a bookmark as well. So print.
Oh, that's glorious.
Bookmark.
As I said, the art is dope.
I've got something new for my wife to cosplay as.
Oh, you little bastard. That's why you are having so many kids. No wonder you are having so many kids.
I was gonna say
number 6.
Every time you poke, boop, pop goes a baby.
Instead of buying condoms, he's buying
Comic-Con can't come soon enough.
Oh, I heard a joke within a joke there with that one. I don't even know if that was intentional or not with you, Common.
So I always say the Lord's muse just works through me subconsciously a lot of the time. I just let it flow and the good stuff comes out, man. Occasionally, see, that's what I'm saying. And occasionally, I just write it down. So I just, Oh,
that was
players be the Lord.
Incredible. Your words, your choices of words were very much intentional. Very deeply.
Deeply. It all comes from it all comes from deep inside of my subconscious.
It comes, like that. I wasn't even trying.
Oh, it's coming from somewhere.
Well, you know what it is, Nick? It's spreading. It's spreading. It's like there's love in the air. I swear it's not an STD.
This started over a bunch of funny books. How did funny books do this? Somehow we did.
Praise be, mostly because it's covers like this that do this and cause things.
I guess you
like
could
this.
say between this Saoirse, I guess our North American comics, at least on the very more niche side of the industry, are they making redheads great again common? What are your thoughts on that?
I wouldn't say they're niche. This is the beginning of the next mainstream, right? Like these indies and these indie comics are like, you see this, like, okay, let me put it this way.
Talk to me.
And I know some people like some of the new Absolute stuff coming out of DC. I've seen some of the stuff coming out of Absolute DC. I haven't read all of them. Our buddy Drew kind of seemed to like some of the Batman stuff early on. Doesn't seem to talk about it a lot much anymore. Probably a good reason for that. But the fact that DC, even with the state that they're currently in, right? Not you, Drew, our other Drew.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Which other
no, not you. Our other Drew.
Oh,
we have multiple Drews.
Oh,
yeah, you know which Drew I'm talking about. Yeah. NDA Andrew. Andrew. Like I said, he doesn't seem to talk about it too much anymore for a reason. But despite, and I'm a DC fanboy, right? Despite the state of DC Comics is currently in right now, they still beat the pants off Marvel last year, right? That shows you how bad things really are. Because holy cow. But like, this is what we're seeing now. We're seeing the guys out there, and we're seeing the groups and the conglomerates that are starting to fund, whether they're in places like with Ripa and everybody he's bringing in and that massive pool of group that he's got over there, or like all the guys that you see on Comic Mint, and you've got all of these guys out here that are doing indie stuff or over on Fund My Comic. You see all of these different groups. You see all of these different little segments of cohorts, right? Because I've been through a lot of these different, because I let anybody come on. You know what I mean? You got something to shill, come bring your stuff. I used to bring everybody on. So I saw all of these different little groups start to form in their early days, and seeing all that stuff blossom and see these. I mean, like, I know we can't go back in time and watch this, but this, I guarantee you that we're just seeing the digital version of how DC started to come together. These guys, because Marvel wasn't originally the name; it was something else. Before, and then I think even DC had, but Marvel specifically had like a different name beforehand and everything else. So it's like you see, and that's what it was. It was groups of storytellers and artists all coming together and going, "Hey, let's do something together." And we're seeing the very beginnings of that now in the indie sphere. And instead of having to go to banks and get loans and stuff like that, now you guys just come directly to your customer, directly to your consumer, and go, "Hey, this is what we're doing." And now instead of having to go through DC to see, or Image or Marvel or anybody else to get going together and go and see these, and that's the only way you can get your favorite artists and your favorite writers together. Well, now it's just like, well, on the next Nightmare, 6 issues Nightmare, we're going to get Chuck Dixon writing, or Eric July is going to write something for one of the guys over on Fund My Comic, or Drew's going to do something, for my buddy in Mythicals, our buddy that does the Mythicals stuff.
Hojo,
yeah, for Hojo, right? And so you that's what we're going to see. We are watching our new powerhouses, our new legends laying their foundations right now. They're getting their street cred right now, right? For the guy, because we do have some legends that are in the indie sphere now, but the guys that are new, quote unquote, new on the block, and I know some of you guys have been in this 10 to 15 years or longer doing this stuff anyway, but as far as being able to go out there and do your own thing, you're seeing those foundations, you're seeing those titans and those giants laying their foundations, getting their street cred now. And all of that stuff is going to carry forward, because there's always going to be a demand for comic books, right? Just like there's always going to be a demand for manga, just like there's always going to be a demand for sports, just like there's always going to be a demand for X, Y, and Z, right? That stuff, when it's good, and you've got a bunch of great artists and you've got a bunch of great creatives coming together inside of that industry, you don't have to have the big names. That industry will flourish, right? I haven't seen any of Drew's stuff before tonight. But you already told me, Nick, how many different projects has he been working on? How successful has he already been in just his little corner? And I don't say little corner, but compared to everybody else, like this little corner here. And we've seen guys that have been really successful in this little corner over here. And all of that is going to come to a head. And we might be at the end of the dark ages right now, but we're at the beginning of a renaissance when it comes to creativity in comics and in independent storytelling. And hell, MGM And DC and Image didn't start off as those brands. They started off as a bunch of guys getting together and wanting to tell really good stories. And that's what we're seeing now. And this is, I'm stoked about the future of this industry because of what we're seeing now getting laid down in the groundwork being laid down. So, yeah.
So you brought up the Absolute Universe with DC, Jesse.
Sure.
And I want to go look into it. I want to go look into it to go see what I can find out, what's all going on. And I was surprised to see some news that, I mean, you're absolutely right about DC killing it right now. Like, because there's a news story come out that basically every one of the books for the Absolute Universe is getting reprinted. We're talking Absolute Batman 1 through 14, Wonder Woman 1 through 11, like Superman 1 through 10. Some of these are on their 11th reprintings. Yeah, like I haven't heard about that with a Marvel book at all.
Marvel didn't get anything in the top 20 without it being a crossover with Deadpool and Batman. Like Spider-Man came in at like 22 or 23. Spider-Man. Right? Number one most recognizable superhero on the planet. Makes it in number 23. And Batman literally was like half or maybe a third of the top 10 or top 20.
Dude. Spider-Man hasn't been in the race for I will say almost 20 years at this point. We are.
I was going to say, when did one more or Brand New Day come out?
20
years ago, or right around 20.
It was 2006.
It did have.
Don't read anything past 2000.
It did have some fans. I remember at the shop I was going to in Chirac at the time when Nick Spencer was right, because I know that he got MJ back with Piero apparently on the first or second issue. And I know he undid Sin's Past. And there's this whole theory going around. And I still can't find out if that was ever discredited, if there was merit to it. But apparently he was going to undo one more day and his run got cut short. And it definitely would seem.
Well, I wonder why.
What makes me wonder if there's any truth to that is the fact that he's not been with Marvel since then. That's for sure. That part is very obvious. You can look at his record. It's like his record just died out of nowhere, which is really ironic because that's the same writer who had brought us the very polarizing Hydra Cap story. Now, I don't know if that was his idea or if that was an editor's idea and he just wrote it. That was
his.
Odd. It was just really odd.
It was
his idea.
Yeah.
So it's just really odd that the guy who was doing all these things to fix Spider-Man was the same guy who gave us the most polarizing Captain America story of all time. It doesn't make any sense, but I don't know. I guess this is the universe we live in. Do you remember all that when that was going on, Drew?
Oh yeah, I was there, front and center. And I remember really getting into the YouTube sphere at that time and really watching Douglas Ernst and Captain what the hell
Cummings.
is his name?
Captain Cummings.
Cummings, yes.
Yeah,
Watching these guys. Yeah. And started watching EVS and others, and just really realizing, okay, I'm not the only one who's noticing something is off here, something is wrong here, and they were calling it out, and that was great.
Mm-hmm.
And
man, it feels like that was a whole other era ago.
That was almost a decade ago. That was almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff was just starting a decade ago, 2016.
Yeah.
Man, the before times.
That's when most of it. Well, that 2016's like 2015, 2016 is when the mask dropped, and like all these people that had been worming their way into things had finally gotten into enough positions of power to start pulling the levers on everything they'd been wanting to do for 10, 15 years. And that's when everybody really started to wake up to that.
I guess this is the comics version of The Land Before Time.
Okay, you guys might know that I waste a lot of time watching TV series. So there was a TV series called Dead Like Me that had just a couple of seasons. It was an actually really decent TV series, but there's an episode that aired. This was 2004, where they basically lays images of Trump with Nazi rallies, and they start with the whole Trump will become president and he will become Hitler But again, this was out on 2004. Right? So it's way before I guess Trump already had said that at one point he will want to be a president and such. But the thing is, this was not really a meme. This was not part of normal consciousness. And there was already this kind of things going on. And it actually quite predicts a lot because it was an episode about a character that dies that is gay. And it's all about how they see that they are going to be killed or something like that. It was a really stupid episode about hatred, but yeah, they have all that. Again, this is 2004. So kind of weird that we are exactly on the same point with the same talking points and exactly everything else. And when you see all the evidence that comes out, everything that has been going on these weeks, yeah, instead the guys that believed on Alex Jones, those were the ones that were right.
Vince, these are the same ones that made Jordan Peterson to Red Skull Hail Lobster. Yeah, oh God. That I will say that shut up Ta-Nehisi Coates really quickly. The Hail Lobster. He did not try to retaliate in any way. I was shocked because
I've got the T-shirt. I got the Hail Lobster T-shirt.
Nice. I thought he was gonna go on a tirade as retribution, but the fact is he went silent at that. I was like, holy crud! I did not expect that. I don't want to get into politics, but it was just the fact that Jordan Peterson's response to that was that, and Ta-Nehisi just shut up at that was actually kind of rare if you think about it. Because I'll put it this way: if that were Dan Slott would have gone on for 5 years on whatever platform he's using about. He would have not let it go because if there's one thing that he loved was a few that had eyes on him.
But I think. If anything, that would have the only way that would have happened though is if he would have given him ammunition. Jordan didn't give anybody ammunition. You know what I mean? He made a joke into it. He made a deck of playing cards. He made a tie into it. They made a T-shirt out of it. They made it into a whole running gag. How are you supposed to start a fight with somebody like that? You know what I mean? And if anything, you're right. That's probably why Ta-Nehisi Coates went silent. It's I was trying to start a fight, and the guy ruined me. So
straight up ruined his
life. It was
life.
fun.
So we were talking a few minutes ago about, I think it was Ironcast who was leading with the Absolute Universe stuff. And, we have a guy who has been up to speed on that because, I watch his Saturday videos with Wes. So I want to hear from someone who's up to speed. And I'm trying to look at it not just from your thoughts on it, but where do you see this universe going? Do you feel like it has any long-term sustainability? So lead with those two things. Your thoughts on the universe, highs, lows, and then do you see this having actual sustainability, or do you still feel like this may be a stunt, a short-term stunt? So take it away, Drew.
I would like to, following the trends that DC has gone through, where they've wound up being the market leader, whether it's through DC Rebirth or the New 52, it always wound up being for about a year before Marvel got their shit together. And
I remember.
New 52 was 9 months.
2011.
It wasn't even a year. So, but it took some time. Eventually, Marvel got their shit together. But I'm very curious to see how long it is now before they do. Because look, you think you're gonna take back the lead with Chip Zdarsky and Denise Camp? I don't see that happening. And but so I've read all the books. New Absolute Batman. Look, I've said, if you love Cobra, if you love Tango and Cash, and you love seeing Mongo from Blazing Saddles as Batman, this is for you. That's what you get. You cannot take it seriously. If you're not laughing when you're reading it, you're reading it wrong. Because it is an over the top joke. But Absolute Superman, honestly, I see that as the Ultraman origin. I don't see him as Superman. He's Ultraman.
But the one that I do enjoy the most has been absolutely Wonder Woman. I think that's the one that has the most promise, and that's the one that's pretty much the closest to Wonder Woman, you know. And Kelly Thompson, who's writing it,
of all people,
of all people. I mean, granted, a lot of issues are pretty bland or just don't wind up being a nothing burger. But there have been a few times where they've actually been really damn good. And she wound up having some really damn good art in the book too. So I think despite her best efforts, you know, she's had one of the probably the better book in my opinion, even though Absolute Batman is clearly selling the most and will continue.
Oh, of course.
Look, when you have, like I said, when you have Mongo from Blazing Saddles as Batman with a huge axe, killing people, chopping off limbs, a huge dump truck as the size of a building as your Batmobile. Yeah, of course, kids and everyone else are going to be into that. Yeah, it makes sense.
I
But
just read that, by the way.
yeah, it's wild.
It was like, holy crap! The dump truck just blew my mind. I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
See, right there, you got one.
There you go.
There. And I don't think it's even that Marvel will figure out a way to regain. I think what'll probably end up happening is more than likely DC will screw up and shoot themselves in the foot. And like nothing will. That's the only thing I can figure. Because I can't see any path.
That they've done that, and they did that with with Rebirth. So the one they got in their way of success
when Jeff Johns stepped down and Dan Didio got in the way.
Bullseye. When those two could not could not work together anymore, and you had to split. Like there it goes. That went Rebirth.
That was the beginning of the end of what was going on. I remember that like it was yesterday because that was a time where I was reading so many DC titles enthusiastically. Like going on Wednesday was straight up like a mission. It was a mission. You know, like it was like I was so excited at the time to begin those books, and then seeing the shift happen. It really was like, it was really disheartening. Even though there's a few gems, like most things that you always get your occasional gems, like Robert Venditti's Hawkman. I do remember liking Justice League Dark as that was coming out too. So, you know, you had your hits, but you also had the beginning of the end when they promoted Bendis is coming.
God damn it.
It was a warning. They tried to warn us.
Yeah. There's some weirdness about the way that they tried Rebirth and New 52, because New 52 they basically were like nothing that happened before really is canon now, and we are trying to make new origins for the characters. And then they started to try to bring back old issues as canon and create this mix between what they thought it was working and didn't. And then they do Rebirth, and they are not, no, this time everything is new. And they do exactly the same, but they are bringing things from New 52 and from before New 52.
Except Pablo, when it came to Batman, they were trying to push and say that all the Batman shit from, you know, the post-crisis happened within 2 years because they wanted to be able to have their cake and eat it too for all of that big stuff, like Bane, the breaking of the Bat, and Barbara Gordon, and some of the Oracle stuff, like all of that. They tried to say was 2 years, like we're 3 years into a Batman.
I think with Rebirth too, it was the closest time we ever got into a corporate apology from a company ever, and I was actually shocked because they actually admitted they screwed up and we need to correct this. And the amount of times I remember a corporation giving a genuine apology, not a we're sorry for how you feel, how you interpret it, you know, some backhanded comment or non-apology. They gave a direct apology for the New 52. And that was like the ultimate, like, okay, I'm going to give this Rebirth a genuine shot because don't think I've ever seen any DC do this. And if they have done it, then I'm not aware of it. Now, obviously, we've definitely not seen that come from Marvel. Even when things are bad, they definitely don't apologize.
They have
that motherfucker doubles down and that motherfucker doubles down and decides to yell at fans for even suggesting that he might have made a mistake 20 fucking years ago. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, but
Sorry.
they have had apologized, but normally it was because either they got into a congressional hearing, like with the whole fiasco that ended in the comic book authority seal of approval and everything else, or when somebody was found with Marvel memorabilia in a situation that was really terrible. So those are the reasons why they will normally apologize. But it's about saving face more than actually apologizing for having bad quality or anything. They never apologize for basically ruining everything that could have been the Marvel universe if they didn't fall into the trap of we need to have a Secret Wars on every single storyline. So the X-Men had their own events. Spider-Man had the Clone Saga. Everybody was having all these big moments, and yeah, nothing paid off. And actually, its sales dropped to a really terrible place at that time. They didn't say anything to apologize about that. It was just like, yeah, we tried.
You know, all this talk about Batman's got me wanting to go like buy a Batmobile for my nephew. Just to, like start getting get him into the Batman stuff. Like he likes cars. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. Batman has the coolest cars.
Oh, if you can get him into the animated series, man.
Oh yeah.
If he'll sit down long enough to actually watch it.
Give him time, and he'll get there. So, okay, I want to acknowledge this great, wonderful page. I feel like this is from issue 2. Drew.
No, this is a sneak preview. This is
it is a sneak preview. Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, this is issue 3, page 1. So we're dealing with the fallout from issue 2, and I sent you as well the last page of issue 2.
So that's okay. So it was okay. That's where I got it all unstraight. Okay, go on.
So we have we brought on a new colorist for issue 3, as you'll see after you show the last page of issue 2. We have Oscar Carreno doing the interior colors. Yeah, there's the last page of issue 2 right there. The big reveal that it's Herbert West, the reanimator.
Dun, dun, dun.
I
You
know.
have my attention.
Right?
When these are campaigns, when you get Kickstarters going, I would like to have you on right when like one of these are, or both. You just name the campaign, dude. Like that way we can just try and make sure we can get these going right away so people can have their eyes instantly on these things. But this looks wonderful, dude. I love it. Looks like a good poster too. Like if you ever to do like an Unholy Nightmare poster, like the villain section, this would be it. Just say or print. I know that's obviously posters are expensive. If you're to do a print, this would be a good idea. Right? I'm just saying, plant the seed.
This is another one we did was a homage to the Love and Rockets #1. We did a homage to that for issue 2 on the Kickstarter, and like that could probably be a good print or poster for the series.
Okay, guys, like all things, we always gotta have a good laugh at something. And I don't think I saw anything that united, let's just say not just comic people, but let's just say people of sanity. We'll call it people of sanity more than the thing I am about to share to you. So about 6 years ago, this got out. Maybe some of you have good memory and can remember where I'm leaning to. But I don't think I ever seen anything unite fandoms, sane people, white, left, dragons, Mike Tyson, Gilbert Gottfried from the dead, than this.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Remember this?
I don't know what you guys don't like Snowflake and Safe Space? Those weren't the comic book heroes that that inspired you as children? You didn't think your children would love Snowflake and Safe Space? You didn't think those were going to be the greatest comic book characters ever? What's wrong with you? You fucking bigots, you damn racist homophobes. What's wrong with you people? Why don't you love Marvel Comics?
And by the way, out of all the characters on this book, the one who is the absolute smallest on this page, the vampire one is
Yeah.
the only one that actually survived to get into Marvel
Yep.
Comics.
Yes.
I am aware.
Right.
So, okay. This is gonna be our last thing, and we're gonna wrap up. But this is gonna be a I remember when moment. I remember coming back from work, and I checked my phone. I got some notification about the new Warriors. I'm like, oh, interesting, the new Warriors. And I looked at the cover. I'm like, what the hell? It's a weird looking cover. And then I remember watching a video, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There's a characters called Snowflake and Safe Space, and someone said internet gas. This has to be a parody. And I'm looking like, oh no, this is real. Are you kidding me? I'm like, in my mind, this is when the world's starting to run rampant about Corona. This is the actual fear in my eyes. You could put the Kung Flu to the side. I was fucking freaked out about this shit. I couldn't believe it. Drew, dude, what was it like for you when you first saw it? Did you feel like this was real? Were you questioning your sanity at this moment?
Honestly, because I was still reading everything coming out every week, and it was that was like the apex of Marvel. Marvel really thinking we are cooking now. This is it. This is their make or break of their agenda right here, and it literally broke the internet. And look, the minute you have failed when you are made fun of, specifically on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I remember
he shows you
that.
And he makes fun of it. It's like,
Kurt Metzger.
Yes, you have failed.
Oh man, dude! I remember it was supposed to be a 5-issue limited series, and they said, "Oh, well, no, we'll put it on straight to trade," and then trade became completely canceled and obliterated. I, in a way, was disappointed. I wish someone
they fully intended this to be a full series. It was baby steps backwards. It's like, well, no, guys, it's not gonna be a full series. It'll be a limited series. And then when the mockery didn't let up, when people just kept making fun of it, eventually they had to drop it.
Or Pablo, what about your life when you saw this? Were you questioning everything that was going on with your life with this magnifying cover?
Oh, we were talking about this on Trotics chat.
Oh, I remember.
Dude, it was an absolute shit show because even the social media campaign to try to downplay how much people were criticizing them. It was absolutely incredible to see a whole company on panic because, well, they deserve that. Let's be honest. But I didn't think that people reacting on the internet will have them on that level of absolute disarray. And while Gary was doing videos, actually there was a lot of channels on that time that they have either changed completely the topic or they are absolutely gone. But those were the people that we were hanging out in the chat, talking about this, having just a blast laughing.
What a memory this was, dude. What a freaking it blew my mind that this was serious. I remember that writer, Daniel Kibblesmith. Kibblesmith.
And he was on that show trying to get a girlfriend on a reality show.
It's like Millionaire Singles or something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, really. And this was in the time that he was publishing this. Then somehow I think there was a copy that leaked. And then they removed the issue from all the stores, but apparently they sent a few issues to some stores, and that was it. So there's still a hunt for any issue of the New Warriors. Dude, what an absolute disaster it was.
He is the co-author of a book called How to Win at Everything.
Yeah. Of course he is.
Those who can't teach, those that can't teach, write books on it.
Dude, at that time, I was a bit salty, a bit angry because they were destroying Marvel. And let's be honest, the comics were mostly dead at that point. So the only thing that actually mattered was the MCU, and the MCU was still. No, it was just freshly dead because Endgame has had been a couple of months before, so people were losing interest. Everybody was starting to get annoyed by the comic book industry in general, and then this happens. So if you go back in retrospective, it's a funny time. It was really funny. We were hanging out on the Global Geek Gang, making jokes with Clobby about this. We started the previous version of this show because we were talking we should just shoot a podcast and talk about this shit because it's hilarious. So we did. That was like almost 6 years ago.
I gotta reach out to Gary about this. You know what? Next time I see Gary in person, or when I know he comes up north, I'm gonna try to like beg him. Like, could you?
I know
please?
Richard Meyer. I know Richard Meyer did. Someone from Marvel sent him the full thing, and before he went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, he did a stream where he showed
Talked
some of the
about
interior
it.
pages.
Yeah, I actually remember that. It's funny because I remember that, Drew. That was, man. I'll tell you, this is as crazy as this was at the time. I'm definitely a little smiling now at this moment because I feel like we never saw Daniel Kibblesmith again. At least I haven't. And outside of the Vampire Girl and I think Night Thrasher, all the other characters were never to be seen or heard from again.
What? Snowflake melted? Safe space closed down?
I remember I was eating something while I was hearing Gary explain the powers. And when he gets to internet gas, I choked. I was about to die. The laughter.
They need their nemesises, Libtard and Chud.
It was so funny, man.
It was
so goddamn funny.
Okay, gents. This is going to be the part where we get ready to call it a night. Chat, I want to thank you for being here on YouTube and Rumble. Thank you all for being here. To my panelists, to my guests, thank you guys. We're going to do one last roundabout. I'll start off first, and I'll be quick because I am first. Toxic Tuesday, talking the Expendables 2. It's going to be huge. Thursday afternoon, Pablo and I, first episode of Nick Talks Trek. He'll be my first guest for the first 2 episodes of TOS. And next Saturday, we'll be here for Clobby's Comic Shop, the next issue, talking ASM 97 and F45 86. And lots to come on Bonded by Metal as well. So if you haven't subbed to Bonded by Metal, get on that because we've been very active over there. That's all I got to say about that, Ironcaster. Plug your plug on the way out, sir.
Well, I do a show on Monday nights called the Mech Pit Chat, where we talk about big robots, everything from Transformers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, all that fun stuff that's in this little like niche area. And for the last couple of weeks and coming up, we've been delving into a little bit of Beast Wars as we slowly get ready for this brand new Space Sheriff Gavin, which is going to be potentially the next big Tokusatsu series coming out of Japan. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. And with that, thank you as always. I will see myself out.
Take care, Caster. Appreciate you, dude. Vince Womack, thanks for plugging his plugs on the way out. Pablo, do you got a plug you want to plug outside of the truck show?
No, just the truck show. I'm actually really sorry that we were not able to do it this week. Sadly, I had to be with the family, but dude, there's some great episodes, and let's be honest, without spoiling too much, Uhura flirting with Spock is some of the best TV you can ever watch. It was something special. That series started with something really special. That's it, man. I just want to talk Star Trek and be happy.
All right. Killer. Hey, thanks for being here, sir. Thank you for your contributions. Vince, thanks for plugging Pablo's plugs. Yeah, looking forward to talking Trek, man. Great to hang out with you. So I'll see you twice within the next week. Sir, Common Nerd.
Yes, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we've got Bible study tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Rumble and YouTube, obviously, and all the rest of those fun little platforms that are out there. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, carrying on the book of the Jeremiah. And tomorrow night, we've got a very special episode of When Who Was Good for our classic Who rewatch. We've got the I'm having a brain fart. Somebody remind me of the actor who played Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars.
I know what you're talking about. I don't got the name.
Yes. Somebody will remember in the chat here in a second. But either way, there's a very special.
It was.
No, it's not Cushing. You'll remember it in a second. Yeah, but either way, we've got a very special edition of Doctor Who, where it is a remake of one of the first season's Doctor Who stories with this particular actor. It is Peter Cushing. Thank you, Tim Hayes. You're right. You're right. It is Peter Cushing. Yeah, with Peter Cushing playing his version of the Doctor. It's not canon, but it's a lot of fun, and it's Peter Cushing. He's an absolute legend, so you can't skip over that. So we're going to watch that tomorrow night. That should be a good time. We've got a bunch of special guests. For that, of course, Sunker will be there, and Griffin and Spartacus and a few of the others, so it should be a good time. And then during the week, we're doing random news shows right now because the morning prep is on hiatus. But hey, if we get up to 100 members over there on YouTube, we'll probably be able to bring it back. So check all of that fun stuff out there as well. And then Thursday night, we've got Is It Good Firefly review. We've got War Stories, the episode coming up next week. So if you're a Firefly fan or if you've never watched it before, definitely come check us out on Thursday night. Sunker, of course, will be there again as well. And Handy News and Tiny But Fierce, if you guys remember her, Won't Be Boxed, will be hanging out with us as well. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. Can't wait for next week and to carry on with these amazing Spider-Man and Fantastic Four. So yeah, can't wait. Thanks for having me, guys. Drew, good to hang out with you, buddy.
Likewise. Yeah.
All right.
It's a fun night.
Drew, plug your plugs, and I'm going to post your link for Unholy Nightmare for those to scoop a copy on the way out. If not, at least have a look at it. So, sir, what do you got coming out on whatever, comic, YouTube, whatever? Plug it out.
So every Saturday, I'm on Thinking Critical with Wes. We do our best of the week. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm on our good friend Josh McDonald's channel, Pop Pipe Culture, talking new comics and everything pop culture. And you can find me at MegaCon. MegaCon next month in Orlando. I'll have several exclusives for Unholy Nightmare, Silent Nights, maybe Depths of Valor, and a few more titles. And someone had asked in the chat, asking, like, they said, "Hey, are you talking about Jeffrey Combs Reanimator?" I'm like, yes, that Herbert West Reanimator. Except we steered from how he looked. We went back to the original 1900 version. How H.P. Lovecraft had written him. Blonde hair, glasses, thin. So, but yeah, it's that same Reanimator.
You heard it here first, guys. And this is the link. And that's about issue 1. Issue 2 will be added unless you're going to MegaCon, but keep your eye on these books. Our man here has plenty of stuff coming out on the way you got to know about. Drew, thank you for being here, sir. Great chatting with you. Great reminiscing on what was, what could have been with the new Warriors, talking classic Spider-Man 4, and getting to hear some more info on all your books because you got a lot of them coming out and you got a lot out. And I'm looking forward to trying to get some more eyes on these things, especially since I'm something of a fan of your books myself.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And look, it just takes hustle, and really getting out to retailers, letting them know about it, getting them excited, and having people who like it tell their friends to tell their friends. Just word of mouth. It is the one tried and true method of something being successful.
It really is. As cliche as it is, there's a reason why it's cliche, because it is relevant and it still works and it will always will. No matter how many people you think you've reached, there's always X amount who have no idea. So, all right, chat. It's been freaking real. Thank you all for being here. I hope to see some of you Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or all of the above. But we're going to get on here. Thank you for supporting the show. You all have a magical evening. Thank you.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell